So, hey everybody, how you doing? Let me tell you something, alright? Oh, look, well, I'm dressed like this, because unlike you people, I went to church. So, let me tell you something, what I encountered at this church. Alright, now, I was going dressed like this and with a hat like so. Okay, and I was walking through the door. Then somebody stopped me. He said, hey, take your hat off. And I'm like, why? And then he's like, because it's respectful when you take your hat off. Then I'm like, oh, okay. So I take it off, like so. And then, you want to know the crazy thing? Okay, a few seconds later, there is this woman. She has a bigger hat on than me. And then he just says nothing. And then I'm like, hey, I ask him, what are you going to do about that? And he's like, about what? That woman was wearing a hat, and it was way bigger than mine. And then he's like, oh, well, it's okay for women to wear hats. You stop me because this is an outrage. You know, I go to church, without wearing this hat, and it makes me feel good, all right? And I'm just gonna hear the word. How does it matter that I have a hat on? It's not like it says devil worshiper and 666 on it. I mean, can't I wear a hat in peace, huh? Come on, man. Sure, I got a hat and it's black, so is my other stuff. It matches. And then that woman, she has a big old hat and she's just sitting right in front of me in this aisle, in another aisle, all right? Now, let me tell you something, all right? I was just so stunned, and then, I decided to use his technique. And then I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, could you please take off your hat because you need to show respect. And then you want to know what she does? She's like, you are so rude, and then she just turned around and ignores me the whole time. I'm like, excuse me, take off your hat, please, all right? You know what? And then this deacon comes over, and then he's like, hey, what's all this racket? And he's like, hey, excuse me, sir, can I wear my hat? And he's like, no. And then I'm like, could you tell her to stop wearing the hat? And he's like, why? Because, well, why? I just can't take all this, man. It's ridiculous. Man, I was just going to hear the word, but then all this sexistness. Ugh, my word, man. I'm just flabbergasted at all this. All this sexistness. And in the church, too. I mean, why can't I wear my hat? I look fly. Don't I look cool in my hat? And it was Easter. I mean, come on. And that's when most people go to church. But I go to church every Sunday with this hat on. And then this new guy, he's just walking up in here like he owns the place. And he knocks me, he just blocks me, and he says, hey, take off your hat. You know what? I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to write a letter to that preacher, and I'm going to tell him, hey, you need to let all those women not wear hats, so, and either let me wear my hat or let nobody wear their hat. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous.